All right, so maybe that's what we should do.
Yeah, I think what we should do
Because
is let's
it's such
do
a
our
hot
daily
topic.
debate, and then we can elaborate on that.
All right, cool.
Make sense?
So here's the question, guys. TJ Dillashaw and Dana White were among those that weren't fans of the stoppage in Dillashaw's TKO loss to Henry Cejudo at UFC Brooklyn. Hashtag UFC Brooklyn. What's your take? Stoppage was too early. Stoppage was justified. Close, but no complaints. Go ahead, guys.
I like close. Well, you know what? I am going to say it was too early. I feel like in championship fights, you got to let it go just a little bit more. And if you watch the replay, it just seems like when the referee gets in there, to me, it was a little too early. I think you could have let TJ come out of that and see what was going to develop. But what bugged me more was going back and watching the replay. The referee's actually making his move to stop the fight way earlier than when he got in there. So based on
That's
his
what
decision,
started the in and out. Yeah.
yeah, based on his decision, he was seeing it a lot differently than we were. So for me, I would say that it was too early. I don't think it's the worst thing we've ever seen in our lives, but I think it's fair to say it was too early.
Dan.
Because the no complaints part, I believe the wording maybe isn't worth complaining, but either way, I do feel like it is worth complaining. Now, could TJ Dillashaw have gone about that complaining differently, worded it differently? Sure, of course. But that's not the question here. The question is, how do we feel about the stoppage? And, you know, I agree. I feel like it's an unpopular opinion to take that stance because you're taking away immediately, you know, somewhat taking away from the champion, the victor, which is Henry Cejudo. But nevertheless, I feel like we can still give credit and pay the champion his due respect while still criticizing a call from a referee who wasn't a local. Kevin McDonald, to a point George made earlier. I can vouch. I watch a lot of tape. That guy's a good referee. If this fight goes down again and I see him at the helm, I'm actually not sweating like I would other officials. I just feel like it was the body language, which we've seen. I think the body language kind of set it off. There was not one but two drops, which is alluding to Go's point. The ref was kind of coming in earlier to stop it. And sometimes that triggers a ref. We've seen guys recover from worse and come back to win a fight, right? But at the same time, we've seen stoppages like this before where because a guy goes limp, that gives the ref enough body language. So I got to imagine that's where the people that said stoppage was justified, I got to imagine that's where they're coming from, guys. But I'm on the other side. I feel like it was a bit too early, you know, for the stakes and for what was going on. TJ was clearly swimming in on a single leg, and I know you can't look at him still being on balance as hindsight. But yes, in hindsight, he didn't appear to have balance issues. He looked much more rocked being saved by the bell in his first fight with Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah, and the announcers, they actually, especially DC, felt like it was good, it was okay, and he's actually pointing to the fact in the replay that like the referee's assisting him at that particular moment. Look, we're not saying he's 100%. All we're saying is the guy that was on his way out, give him a little bit more of a chance to fight out of it. But if not, then I guess he's going to be stopped. You know, I mean, I think we all feel he was on his way to losing. That's for sure. But for me, he hadn't crossed that line of he's done, ref, where you at? You know what I mean? And we're talking about split seconds here. All that might take place in less than a second.
Sure.
If this was an NBA game, you'd have to get that little tenth of a second clock out, the point, whatever. And so, you know, again, this isn't to demean the ref, because I think he's trying his best to officiate this contest. He's probably stoked to be involved in something of this stature, but with it comes the responsibility and the criticism. And, you know, I can tell from our end, you know, we're on the same boat. And let me tell you what the results are.
Okay.
It's actually the #1 leading answer. It was close, though. This was one of the closer ones. 36% out of almost 2,400 votes. 36% said the stoppage was too early.
Okay.
34% said close, but no complaints. And then 30% said the stoppage was justified. And what if all three of those were the judges of the fight? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just
true.
goes to show you, like, everybody has an interpretation of the rules and how it's going to go. Now, I'm anxious to talk to Tiki Gosen, who is TJ Dillashaw's manager. He's very vocal about the fact that, and he should be, that's his guy, that the fight could have gone a little bit longer. The UFC president, Dana White, said the same thing as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of people on that side, other people on the side of justification, and then there's
A lot of those
you have
reactions.
Henry Cejudo and Ali Abdelaziz. they'd have another opinion.
A lot of those reactions are post replays as well, though, right?
Right.
This guy's got to make that call live on the spot. Live on the spot, I would just say, hey, man, I thought it was too early, but I don't think this is the biggest travesty in the world. And I feel like it was probably, had he let it go more, it probably still would have gone Cejudo's way. If anything, maybe he saved them from something that could have been even worse.
Yeah, could help with
But
the instant
at
rematch
the
if they
moment,
do it.
we all kind of looked at each other like, whoa, 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 that's a little too early.
Right.
Hey, competitive results though, right? That's what we want to see for the daily debates, huh?
Yeah. Thank you, Junkie Nation, our readers of the site, the listeners of the show. You guys did well with that one. And that's your daily debate.